New hoodie, you can buy it. The link is down below on one of the icons. You'll be able to see it. Talking about animation reference, we're going to be exploring some of my collection of references. Obviously, I'm just like anyone else. I watch loads of YouTube videos all the time, but especially as an animator, the kind of approach I have is that if I find a video and I think it's really good, like really special in terms of like how it moves or something, then I will save it to my reference playlist, animation reference playlist. Sometimes I think people underestimate how important studying reference is in the animation process, so I just kind of want to advocate with this video how much of an important process it is to me. Everything that I make really in the animation is informed by something real. I don't focus on the mundane, but it's always important that it's anchored in something in our own reality, and then it gives it a kind of validity. It gives it verisimilitude. Often it makes it more appealing, whether that's in the way something moves or in the shapes that are created, compositions, lighting. It's always got that anchor to it. Some of them I specifically went and found those videos to help me with a specific shot in an animation. So I'll show you how it ended up informing the shot that I ended up making. And then for others, it was just more of a case of I was browsing on the internet and I thought, wow, that looks amazing. I'm going to save it in here in case I need it at some point. And also, I think all of the clips go on to inform my knowledge of how things move, how things look, and a sort of style that gradually over time builds up. If I need to be informed on how something works, I can just look it up. That being said, I do shoot my own reference footage as well. Okay, so let's start. Oh man, I have a lot of skydiving on this list, a lot of extreme sports on this list, a lot of skydiving, base jumping, free running, parkour, that kind of stuff. I just really enjoy watching this, and if I find a way to incorporate it in one of my animations, then I will. I love this base jumping stuff. I can't get enough of it, so I just always add it in. This is the craziest view I've ever seen in one of these wingsuits. Look at this guy. Look how it skims over the surface. I was looking at a lot of this kind of stuff when I was doing the arrow scene from Encounter, and the arrow was skimming over this mountainous landscape. I wanted to like experience what the land was like if you run over it at high speed. Oh man, the way he shoots over that face there is really scary. It's so close. I'm often doing effects animation. In this scenario, I wanted to animate slow motion lightning. Kind of a tricky thing to capture. Lightning is so fast that you can't really even see it with the human eye. So gigantic burst of light at first, and I'm paying attention to where these sort of branches go and how the light shifts along this network. When that big one reaches the ground like that, that single route down to the ground is lit up. Also just paying attention to the behavior of that line itself. That line has certain information within it, like how frequent are the turns, what angle are the turns, the thickness of those lines. And I like how the light is kind of shifted to the ends, working their way around and trying to find the ground, I suppose. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not even sure how it works exactly, but that's what it looks like. I didn't end up animating the slow motion lightning for that shot. I was going to have this surfer. I animated the surfer. She was going to surf and come up on this wave, turning in slow motion, and while she's in the air, the lightning would kind of strike behind her in the clouds, so this lightning storm would be going on, but it would be really slow lightning. I thought that would look very cool, but I was doing it in a sketchy style where the colors it was just very simple, like graphite look, and so the lightning wouldn't have the same effect. To have the same effect with the lightning, it needs to be the illuminating force in the shot and not the opposite way around. So I didn't end up doing it. I spent quite a lot of time recently studying how flowers grow, how they bloom out of the ground. This is the opposite of what we just saw. We saw ultra slow motion before this, a time lapse where we're seeing something really slow and speeding it up. I'll show you this little clip that I made. This reference is amazing. Look how these leaves just sort of do this weird thing. It's something you normally can't see. It's kind of creepy. And that's the bit I love, is when the petals start to open, and the way they open like that is really nice. Sometimes I observe something, but I still need to find out what's the most appealing way of putting it. I have a style of animating petals opening, and that style was different to the way petals normally goes, where they lead with the edges, and I instead lead with the stem and do this, which is a different bend. And I just decided to go with my own instinct in the end of what would look good, I have to say. And there's nothing wrong with that. Dog running in epic slow motion. This is another one I've gone back to many times when doing animal locomotion. The channel is called Epic Slow Motion Dog. Yeah, we can make interesting observations about this. If we go here and see that, it almost feels like there's a ripple effect with this spine. So if we look at the line there, at first it's up here, and then that kind of travels through the body. Look at this. It's almost like a wave where it ends up, that's the highest point. It's like a wave that's rolling through. And also how the head seems to be driving so much of the movement. In this one, he's accelerating. You can see that here, and he's accelerating into this run. And to get that fast acceleration, the head is, look at that, the head's like driving way down like that. And then that's going on to affect the feet. Now the head's way up. Also, just by pausing it at any of these, you can create some lovely sort of gestural drawings, observational drawings of the dog here. You get a lovely gesture of like the rib cage that feeds into the hind legs. Really nice reference. This is a much more tricky angle for an animator to do off the top of his head, I think, because things aren't necessarily laid out. There's a lot of foreshortening involved, so it can really help to have a reference like this. Here the head movement is so prominent because the head is in front, and that's mostly what we can see of the body. Getting an idea for the shapes at different points in the movement, the poses, and thinking about like what shapes do they make. Oh, okay, you know, it makes that kind of shape here. This is really nice where you see how the dog takes this angle here when it takes the corner. That's just really nice, really dynamic. And I just love, each of these poses has so much power behind them. You know, I really feel the power just in a still frame here. Look at the power, look at the gesture. We ended up abandoning the projects, but I'll show a few of the storyboards to show you what it would have been like. Just you got to use your imagination a little bit. This video is what I consider to be the holy grail of animal locomotion as reference footage. I love this video. It's an amazing, super slow motion, perfect crisp quality. They've put the camera on these runners, this track, and they've done it at the same speed to match the speed of the cheetah. So what we can see is all of the arcs that the cheetah's legs go through, the way the cheetah keeps his head level, Look how level the cheetah's head is in comparison to everything else that's moving in the body. The way that the tail is used to balance and adjust as the cheetah is going along. Look at the stretch of the legs, how far they're able to stretch compared to how far they're able to compress. The front legs, they compress so much that the front legs go back through between the rear legs, and animals which are able to do that in a full sprint are able to go a lot faster. It doesn't place both of its front or rear legs down at the same time. That way it's able to cover more distance in less strides. There was a film made called Blade Trinity. I've never seen the film, but I saw this clip online of a behind the scenes footage. They set it up so that Jessica Biel, the actress, the lead actress, she had to shoot and just miss the camera. Anyway, she was so accurate with her shot that she shot the camera lens itself and broke the camera, which is amazing. And I needed that angle specifically. There was loads of footage of archery out there, but none that had it from that exact angle. So this is the footage. So as soon as the take was done, she just burst out laughing because she was so surprised at herself for hitting the camera. But that's the mark of a good actress. She was able to stay in character until they said cut, and then she burst out laughing. So they didn't ruin the take with her laughing. This is one of the references I looked at especially for Dance of the Yokai. Really famous singer of like the 70s and 80s, Kate Bush, and this is like a music video where she's basically just doing her thing. She's just dancing in a field. Yeah, I like all the drapery that she's got on, and that kind of adds to the whole thing, and so she can just spin around and do crazy things with her hands. And I would kind of pause it at certain places, just pause it wherever I wanted, and then just have a look at it and see what it looked like, and maybe make a few observational sketches from that. And that really helped me. Might seem like something that's really simple, but it does help, and it's cool that I saved that as well because I forgot all about that. Yeah, it's really good, like really nice for gesture studies and stuff, just pausing on a frame for this. Bird flight is one of my staples as well. People who know my work, who know my common subject matter in animations, a lot of birds. I really like how birds move, how they fly, and I also just enjoy the feeling of flying, the sensation of flying. So whenever I get the opportunity to, I animate birds a lot. And I found this really good video. Typically what happens is the wind is pushed up the mountain slope until it reaches the top, and birds really like it there because they're able to just ride around on this thing, and plus because tourists give them food and stuff, they stay there. For the person filming, he could just walk up on the scaffolding and see how these birds control the wind under their feathers, and it's fascinating. It's amazing to see. We're able to feel how the bird's wings, just a small change, a small shift in the angle of the wings allows their body to maneuver in the air. So let's actually break down some of that and study it. So let's play through some of this. If we look at this bird here, the way he loses altitude very quickly is he just tilts the wingspan that way and kind of slips down like that. Lost altitude very fast by doing that, and the wind, I assume, is coming like that way onto the wings. So he gets quite a steep angle there. Also, just seeing like what shapes they make in the air is really helpful to me as someone who animates birds a lot, just to see, okay, that's the shape there, what are some other shapes that birds make. So this is really interesting. So when the bird wants to keep altitude or even to go up, the wings fan out. They kind of go like that, they fan out. And so are the tail feathers. The tail feathers spread like that. Now when we see that the bird wants to just go down a little bit, we see them come in. So we see that it goes from that and it brings it into there. The tail actually goes up. Look at that. To go down, the tail feather goes up. And then to regain it here, it's leveled off, it's flat again. These end feathers here, they curve up at the top, and I really like that. I've gone through a lot of references there. Maybe I'll do another one of these videos at some point. If you want to buy this hoodie as well, looks really cool. I'm really happy with it. You can buy it. The link is down below somewhere. You'll see the link on my videos. I made the design myself. It is super comfortable. I'm not just saying that because it's my hoodie. It is the most comfortable hoodie I currently own. It's quite thin. It fits really well. I got myself a large one. And yeah, really appreciate anyone who buys one. Just make sure you open up the description and look through my link. I've got links to the videos that I'll have shown in this video, and also links to where you can support me on Patreon, where you can join the Discord community, where you can join the second channel, all of those kind of things. So make sure you check out the description. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.